Laugh, learn, and eat. Yo, Fobby on the beat. Talking leadership, making the big plays in the mortgage game through the sun and the haze. Close more deals, build your success. Time to level up and beat the stress. Get ready to laugh, learn, and eat. Laugh, learn, and eat. Your weekly scene. Let's go.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is Laugh, Learn, and Eat with your host, Bobby Nagel. I can't do it anymore. That's the last time I'm doing that. I'm not doing that for that.
It sounded good. I like it.
I don't feel comfortable doing it.
Like a DJ, like you have like a DJ voice or something? You didn't like the voice, or?
Welcome back to Laugh, Learn, and Eat. This is Bobby Nagel rocking up the airways with you all. The time is a little past 2:00 p.m.
You got a backup on the Beltway. It looks out there with a 405.
It looks crazy. If you're going to be heading out, I'll be heading out right now, you know. Yeah, I don't see myself doing that. Maybe that's why I chose podcasting, because you can just be your like low, miserable self.
I don't think that gets people that want to watch. My dog's walking away. My dog's had enough already. He's leaving.
So, Jason, I want to share something with you. You see this bottle?
Yeah.
All right, ready? Watch what happens. It turns blue.
Yeah.
Hold on, just turned off. Turn blue, right? Oh, the batteries are low. So it's actually pumping in extra oxygen into my water now.
Mwop, 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 mwop.
Can you believe that? I'm going to drink oxygenated water.
You're going to be super smart.
Yeah.
Like more than usual.
Right. Because you know I'm doing this, right? Because I'm like low carbing everything.
Yeah.
And so when you drink oxygenated water, it's supposed to help you keep the water levels the same.
All right. Are you doing the creatine? You doing that stuff too?
No, but you know what? If you chose to join AnyMac, we give you your own bottle. Instead of bottles of honey, you could have bottles of oxygenated water.
That's your gift.
That's our value proposition for all candidates.
How's my pricing? Don't worry about that. How's my comp? Don't worry about that. Listen.
You got oxygenated water. What are you worried about? You can outsmart everybody.
Yeah.
So,
deal.
You know, you've been married for a long time, right? How long have you been married?
Thanks for asking. 30 years in about 15 days.
Yeah. 33 years for us.
Congratulations.
Just realized something the other day.
What's that?
Problem with Pakistanis that we all have black hair. 99.8%. There's a few from the Greeks left over, you know what I mean, that have blonde hair.
Yeah.
So I realized the other day that I married a Pakistani blonde.
That's hard to find.
Yeah, I got one.
So 33 years ago, she walked past you on the street and you said, you know what, miss, come here, I want to talk to you. How'd you meet?
I actually met my wife at my sister's wedding.
Oh, so you saw her across the room and you just locked eyes and you're like.
It was actually an outside wedding, but yes. And I still have the picture from the very first night that I saw her.
Oh.
Yeah, but she had black hair. I didn't know she was blonde. So she does things that a blonde person, you know, like your jokes that you probably tell on stage, that kind of stuff.
I'll go with that. I don't want to.
You're like, I don't want to. You're trying to step out of this so quickly. I can see your body language.
I'm going to take this call.
So she went to the doctor. And she was telling the doctor that everywhere she's like, this hurts over here, this hurts over here, this, you know what I mean? She kept pointing to different parts. And the doctor's like, no, your finger's broken. Anyway.
Does she watch these episodes? Is she going to hear this?
She might. Every now and then she surprises me. She does surprise me every now and then. Yeah.
All right.
You never know. You never know, man. She might come after you, brother.
Right. That's why I'm being careful what I say.
You're by yourself. So big news this past week.
World Cup is starting today.
No, bigger than that. Energy One merged with Atlantic Pacific or Pacific. What is it? American Pacific.
Yes, 8 p.m.
Your buddy Jason Ponsby.
Yeah, Minnesota
guy. Yep. So they merged.
Yes,
now here's the thing. Next week we have the CEO roundtable. I know you won't be here for that because you're gonna be with your father. It's okay.
I don't want to miss that, but okay.
I'm sure James Clement will fit right in. Okay.
Mwop, 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 mwop.
Anyway,
No
Here's
offense.
the thing:
James,
the
no offense.
CEO of Synergy One for the last several months has been posting on LinkedIn. Recruiters, stop calling my guys. I'm not merging. Synergy One's not for sale.
That's when you know they're for sale.
But how do you walk into a room now and say, I just cut the best deal of our life and we're saved?
Because back then we weren't, but this came upon my desk. I couldn't say no.
And you said it and you did the deal, what, 24 hours?
Yeah, it just
Like you haven't been working on this for 18, 20 months?
no, it just happened.
One of your conditions wasn't that you had to be the president of the new company that you were going to merge into?
Listen, he's gonna say this just happened. I wasn't looking. This came across my desk. I couldn't say no.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. If you were at Synergy One, would you be okay with this? Seriously, I just want to know because
I know a guy, a friend of mine that was a regional at Synergy One months ago that he's like, I think the writing's on the wall. I'm seeing all these signs. And he goes, but they won't say it, but I feel like that's what's happening. And he was right.
Yeah. Because I was at Pacific Union when this was all happening and people were telling me, Fob, they're selling. I'm like, no, they're not. I'm like, they promised me.
Yeah, I asked the CEO. He said no.
It's exactly what I did. I asked the CEO and he said, no, we're not nothing. Nothing could be farther from the truth.
It's crazy talk.
And so I just wonder, like, when is it required that CEOs be as honest as they expect us to be?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't know that answer because I feel like everyone seems to play their cards this way.
So does that mean that as employees, it's okay to lie to the CEO then also about, hey, I love this company. We're one big happy family here.
Or if you're a top producer, you're like, I'm not going anywhere. I would never leave. And then next morning you're gone.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. Is when I saw the merger, I mean, like I knew that they were for sale. I mean, or they're trying to, and one of the big things was that Steve was looking to be the president. That was one of his caveats that he had to have. Okay. And so, I mean, it just worked out. I'm happy for my buddies at American Pacific. I think they're a great company, and you know what I mean, it's a good merger for them.
Yeah.
Now there was something that Kleiman reported where their other brand, Preferred Rate, in Chicago. I forgot the president's name over there, but he was not too happy about the merger with Synergy One.
Oh.
Yeah. So he actually put on LinkedIn something to the effect of, yeah, they're going to be missing $3 billion from Preferred Rate momentarily. And then it was deleted a few hours later.
Oh, so Preferred Rates is APM's big wing out of Chicago, right?
Right.
Yeah, big wing.
Yeah. So it's interesting. I mean, here we are, gossiping like James Kleiman would love us having, as he calls himself the little gossiping bitch that he is.
That was surprising when he called himself that. I didn't know what to say. I was like, hey, your words, not mine.
Hey, man, if he calls himself that, I just agree with the guy. That's all I'm doing. But yeah, I mean, so I thought it was pretty interesting, right? We saw the rates. They still haven't improved. They're still kind of hovering around where they've been hovering around. Seems like a landlock on the rates, right? So, but I did notice that the 10-year bond is at 4.5, right? And your interest rate yesterday or inflation was at like 4.2, I think, yesterday, right?
Yep.
So now the gap between the 10-year bond and inflation is about 30 bips. And that's a problem. That's a problem. Yeah. So we have to keep an eye on that because I think they're gonna have to jack up the rates. There's gonna be rate hikes now.
Did you hear it here first? Is Fobby predicting a rate increase next Fed meeting?
If it's not in the next one, I think before the end of the year. You're gonna have to have one, because otherwise this inflation is gonna just start chewing up all that 10-year stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway,
that was not on my bingo card.
Well, I don't think it was on anybody's bingo card this year. I think we were all expecting rates to go down to 5.75, 5.8, somewhere in that ballpark, and kind of like leave it alone. But the powers that be would not allow that to occur.
No.
So any big conference coming up for you, man? Any comedy shows you got me doing?
No, nothing. Summer is kind of quiet in Minnesota for comedy because people are outside doing cabin stuff. So it's usually the off season. So
let me get this straight. When it gets freezing cold in Minnesota, then they haul your ass out.
Then we stay indoors and do stuff. When it's warm outside, we are outside doing stuff. No, really, there's.
I posted a video by the other day. You didn't respond. I was on my disc golf course.
What? You didn't
on LinkedIn on Monday? Yeah. By the way, just FYI, I was outside.
You were on the course throwing discs or just walking the dog?
I was walking Sammy through it, hoping no one would hit us on the head with the disc.
Like guys like that, it's sacred ground. You got to throw discs on that thing.
Well, the thing is it was like in the morning, and new disc players don't really come out that early in the morning.
True. Will Sammy chase a disc?
Yeah.
You can
At his
help-
age, I don't think he can catch it. He used to be able to catch it.
let him chase it. Just throw it
He used to
for
be able
him.
to catch it. Anyway,
It might surprise you.
let's move on.
All right.
We have our guest with us.
Yes,
You know who it is, right?
I do.
I think she's been on the show one time with you before.
Yes, second time.
So let's cue up the music because it's like she's the newest New York Knicks fan. She's devoted herself to the New York Knicks for the last 72 hours, ever since her heartfelt Oklahoma people lost to the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah,
It's no one else other than Kristin Messerli. How are you doing, Kristin?
doing good, and the Knicks are looking good.
I try to find some basketball music for you to introduce you. You know what I mean?
It is hilarious how much I am devoted to the Knicks as of last Saturday. I mean, I just
is
channeled-
it because the San Antonio Spurs dominated the Oklahoma Thunder? Is that what it is? Or and you just, like, this? The Knicks is like your revenge.
that term dominated, but anyway, so first reason was that the Spurs fans were really annoying, and I was like, no. And then I start learning more about the Knicks players and the team and the lore, and I'm like, wait, they're incredible. So I have a lot of basketball passion, and I just have to channel it somewhere.
Yeah.
Went hardcore into the Knicks.
So let me tell you something. They're incredible unless you're a Washington Wizards fan.
Yeah,
Okay, we'll stop
I
it right
understand.
there. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. So that's the way it kind of plays around here. Like, we're not really voting for San Antonio, but at the same time, we're not voting for the Knicks either. As far as
Wait, why? They're not playing the Wizards.
just a lot of bad blood. You know, It's like Dallas and Washington Redskins. It's like Cowboys and the Redskins just never
No,
works
I
out.
don't switch sports.
Just basketball.
Yeah, I would like a second sport because I like sport energy, but I just can't really.
I think Justin has a sport that he would recommend right now.
Soccer,
Yeah.
I know. I think
And disc golf.
disco.
It's coming on.
I cannot imagine watching either
Wait.
of those sports.
Now, the thing with soccer, though, is that you have to be cool if the score is tied 0-0, Kristin. That's the
That's the
catch.
thing. I'm just watching I've had lots of past relationships where they're into soccer, and I'm like, I don't understand what's happening. Like, we're just running. Like, someone's got to teach me, because I'm sure you can't have millions of people like the sport and it not be cool. But
So a European friend of mine, what he said was that Americans don't appreciate the tension that gets created in soccer.
ooh, okay.
And so Europeans have that flavor of tension and maybe whatever that, I don't know how he worded it, I can't remember now, but that's what he was telling me that one time, because I was like, I don't understand soccer.
And soccer.
Yeah.
One team should win. Like, there shouldn't be a tie like 75% of the games.
South Americans love tension too.
Yeah.
Persians
Yeah.
love tension. It's
So the funny thing is not the funny thing, but you know, when the Colombian team, they lost that one game where the guy scored on his,
against us, against USA.
but I mean, you know what happened to him when he went back? Like, he was taken out by the cartel.
Talk about
I mean, that's how serious soccer is, Kristin. You've never heard about a football player or a basketball player being taken out by the cartel. They don't care.
Yeah.
But you lose a soccer game, you know what I mean? Not even a tie. It's like, it's over, man.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, Justin, I don't think Kristin or I will be going along with your football. What was no? Hold on. It is football. It is football. Football. FUTBOL. Not going to happen today. Let's get back to mortgage industry, shall we? So Kristin's here. She's obviously she is the co-founder or director at sorry, not co-founder, director at what is that? First Home IQ. God, I don't have your cards in front of me, Kristin. So First Home IQ, and you guys have now come out with something new as of yesterday.
Yes, I am so excited. I will say that I have wanted to build something like this since, I mean, a long time ago, at least 10 years ago. I've been thinking about how to distill education into a pathway that allows people to not feel overwhelmed as they collect education. I've written a lot of articles on this and done a lot of research on how people actually learn, and it's at points of decision. It's, there's a lot we can get into around that, but and how people build trust with a provider, and even how they relate to building trust in education online with an AI or a computer. There's decades of research on that. And so I'm really excited. This launch does kind of distill all of that into this tool that we've created, where people go step by step into what they actually need to learn, and fill in a calculator. It creates a plan for them that then they can send to someone else if they're working with someone or a partner or whoever, and prepare them for home ownership well before they feel that they're ready. Because I think and I've talked about this before on here, that there's so many people that I think could actually buy if they didn't feel overwhelmed, or if they trusted someone to talk to. And right now, a lot of people actually shut down because of this kind of overwhelm around information, especially around home buying. So I think this could enter, a lot of people into the market, and shift some things for upcoming home buyers.
That's interesting. So the home buyer education that you're providing now, for courtesy of First Home IQ, right?
Yeah.
And so I guess you guys are calling it Learn, which is kind of cool, right? So
yeah, it's learn.firsthomiq.com, and just learn. But it's
that's supposed to resolve the decision fatigue that you were talking about earlier with us before we started recording.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
That's interesting. So okay, so what do you want to dive into first? Should we dive into the decision fatigue first, because that had my attention really going?
Yeah. First, before we do that, I do want to say just special thanks to you, Fobby, our ambassadors. We could not provide this free education without you. You are funding that, that impact. So thank you very much.
No, I'm happy to support you guys. I mean, I know, I feel like, I'll be very honest with you. Sometimes I'm like, what am I doing here with them? I forgot what I'm doing, but I know they're doing a good thing.
That's partly what you're doing.
I'm just cool with whatever you guys are doing. Just keep doing it, right?
Trust with Fobby. The trust is there.
I mean, the thing is I know that somewhere along the way, this is a good thing. In my heart, I can feel it, because the first time I encountered, I could feel the energy, and that's what I go with. I mean, if I didn't feel it, I wouldn't have done it. But so you're quite welcome, and let's get into this. So, shall we start with the decision fatigue, Kristin, because this really got me, and I'm going to put it up on the slide here that you got. So let's add that in here. So decision fatigue and how it's killing the pipeline for the loan officer, right? That's because that little subheading says a lot. So are you saying that decision fatigue in consumers is causing loan officers not to get as many buyers?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I really, looking at the research that we've been publishing over the last 6 years, I think that there's 3 barriers that kind of compile or compact with each other, that lead to it. People always talk about affordability being the problem, but I think the real problem is around, or at least a significant problem is around, decision fatigue. And so the 3 kind of components to that are distrust or skepticism around not only providers, but also the market. I mean, I don't have it in this deck, but we've seen this like huge plummet of feeling that homeownership is a good investment. It went from like 81% to 46% of people, something like that, so, and then also just people feeling like they can't reach out to an expert because that expert's going to sell them on something. I mean, I continually would say, I think I have a quote from myself when I was buying of saying, like, you're paid to tell me to buy a home. So how am I supposed to trust? Not that I don't trust you with my life in every other way. Like, I have so many friends and family in this industry, and but there is still that trust factor there. And then there's overwhelm with information. Like you're like, okay, I can't trust you to do that, to tell me. So I'm going to gather information. We have unlimited access to information. And so I gather a bunch of that, and then I get overwhelmed, and then I shut down and I pull back. And I think that's what I hear continually in conversations with friends, and what I experienced myself, and then what I've seen in the research.
So Justin, have you had a client ghost you?
Never, not once ever. Nope,
Stop.
never once.
Justin, Kristin's asking you a serious question.
Okay, I had a couple once in a while that didn't call me back. I think they had the wrong number in their phone or something. That's probably what happened.
Me too. In the dating app, I got lost.
It's not me. It's them. It's them.
So I mean, that's a pretty serious question. Have you had a client ghost you? So how much is it where the loan officer stopped calling and following up versus a client ghosting? Is there similarities, or is this totally different topics?
No, it's a good question. On the flip side of it, of like how many people maybe would re-engage if you reached out. I think that is the only way that I've continually, been in support by my financial advisor, is like their team reaches out. Unfortunately, every time I get on a call, I apologize profusely. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I have to be your worst client, because I just, there's all this stress and anxiety around like, oh, I haven't done the things that they said, or, money in general just like shuts down my brain. And but they continually reach out. And so we continue to work together.
Well, all you got to do is just stay broke, man. If you stay broke, money will never stress you out.
Is that what it is? Because I
heard it here first.
I don't know if that's true.
There's a speaker I heard that said he got over his fear of financial insecurity when he filed bankruptcy. He goes, I had nothing to worry about anymore. I was like,
there's actually a study I cite in this deck that I shared with you that shows that financial stress causes you to drop in IQ points by 13 IQ points.
Oh my God. Really?
It's a proven thing.
Okay. So financial stress. Let me get this off, because I want to focus on this for a second. Financial stress, is it caused by lack of money, or is it caused by too much money?
I mean, I think when it's been measured in the research, they're mostly looking at either lack of money or emotional response to money, like to financial decisions. So I think it's partly that. One of the studies that I put in there, that, let me see what slide it's on. It's slide 25 if you do want to show it, but it's where there was a Stanford experiment where they had two different groups remember a certain amount of information, and one group had them remember 2 digits, like just remember these 2 digits, and the other group had to memorize 7 digits, and then they had to choose, do you want cake or fruit, and the people that memorized only 2 digits, they chose the fruit salad. The 7 digits, they chose the cake. And it was like, it makes sense. Your brain is kind of overloaded. So it's not just the financial piece of this or financial stress. It's also the amount of information you're trying to hold and make this decision about. It makes you either be impulsive, pull back, or make a wrong decision for you.
Because what I look at is like, and I know this is such a weird comparison, right? But like all the different streaming stations we now have.
Yeah.
And so what is Fobby watching? Sanford and Son.
I don't know what this is.
Oh, it's a classic TV show.
Right, from the 1970s. You know what I mean? Like, I'm watching Three's Company. I'm watching all these old shows from my childhood, right?
Yeah.
So like, we have like 200 different stations that are like, Game of Thrones and this dragon and that. And I'm like, no, I just want to watch Sanford and Son. You know what I mean? Like, what?
To be fair, I think some of that new TV is so stressful that you're like, it's like, give me something chill,
Right. So it's just like, and I just wonder if the financial situation is the same. Like, it's just so much information and so much like people vying for your attention.
Yes.
That we seek comfort, where the decision-making process is just kind of like, I know what Sanford and Son is going to be like in 27 minutes. I'm going to be laughing. I'm going to have a good time, and I can forget about life for 27 minutes.
Yep,
exactly. Have a heart attack every episode.
Kristin, you got to go watch Sanford and Son. At least go watch a few episodes. It'll be definitely worth it for you. I guarantee.
My version of this is I watch every cop show, and it ends the exact same way. I know exactly what's going to happen. It's like, oh, we're almost going to get blown up by this bomb. Oh my gosh! And then we resolved it, and now everyone's safe. And it's just like repeated.
Yeah.
Yeah, chill.
With Three's Company, I finally figured out, like, and I was pretty young back then, when I figured that everything was based on one person assuming that what the other one was doing in Three's Company. And then they made the decision based on the assumption, and every episode was like that. It was a hit show.
That's so funny. You find a pattern and stick with it, you know?
Fobby, to play the theme song, Fobby, to Three's Company.
Oh, not yet.
Okay.
Actually, I actually did one for Joe Wilson. You know that, right?
No.
I did one for Joe like that when they came on the show with the social coach, because he's that whole I don't have it. Don't worry about it. Don't distract me, Justin. Come on, we're talking.
Kristin. So I want to go back to, what's your advice to a loan officer that has always focused on building rapport? Rapport building is great, but that's not always building trust. So how do you tell a loan officer of 27, 30 years that has habits to be able to shake those habits loose and build trust quicker, better with younger generations that he's not used to talking to, he or she?
Yeah, so I built a trust framework after I was a social worker starting out in my career, and we build relationships in social work based off of this model called trauma-informed care. And it's basically like working with people who are really distrusting. How do you build trust with them? And so this trust framework, it's like every letter, of trust means something. And the first two, I think, or maybe three, I think, are the most important. But the T in trust stands for tune in. And I always say, like, just ask the thing that's stressing them out the most, like what keeps you up at night? If you open those meetings with that question, you're generally pulling out of all the noise that's in their head. They have all these questions and, they're not even sure what to ask. And then, so maybe the answer for them is, I don't know what to ask. I don't know what I don't know, but whatever it is, you're pulling it out, and that allows their brain to move a little bit there. It's like the amygdala stress response in their brain kind of calms down a little bit, and that allows them to go online. So that's number one. And it feels like something that's like not productive, but it actually allows you to be more productive. And then actually the second one that I think is most important in the trust framework is the U, which stands for Unfreeze. And so it's just getting people to do one small thing that allows them to feel momentum. So in the, like you'll see in the Learn kind of like model, the tool that we created, we ask them what keeps you up at night. Why are you doing this? What's the thing that matters to you, which is our relate to what matters. And that stays at the top of their homeownership plan so that they can remember, okay, here's what we're working on and working towards. And then they can resolve the thing that stresses them out. And then as they go through the steps, they take one small step, like fill out this calculator, fill out create your budget. And as they go through, it checks it off, it adds to their plan. They see confetti. We allow them to feel like, okay, I'm making progress, and it shows them simplicity over this span of 7 steps. So for a loan officer, even if they're not using this tool, it's about tuning in. It's about showing that you are listening to them, and then also that you are giving them something to do that's not a full application. It's just a quick movement, like just let's just fill out this affordability calculator, whatever it is that allows them to unfreeze.
Baby steps. I love
the other thing that I just recently was doing was on, I've been taking these lessons on how to speak properly. And one of the things that my coach is teaching me on is, like, the slower you can speak, the more calm the other person gets.
I need to work on that. That's good.
Because what happens is, the slower you're speaking, all of a sudden people are tuning into that rhythm, and their heart rate starts to come down. Whereas when you go to a Tony Robbins event and Tony's walking around and he's shaking everybody's hand, he's laughing with it, and it's like everyone just gets excited and you're jumping up and down.
Is that like jazz music? Are you Miles Davis now?
Maybe. I wish I was Miles. I wish I was Miles Davis. I could only dream of that. But
you have a very calm demeanor. I feel like, you've got that down. I even with the framework that I have shared for over a decade, I feel like I'm constantly trying to remind myself this, because I want to share all the information I know as quickly as possible because I'm excited. And I think, it's easy to be like, oh, you don't know this? Let me tell you everything about it. And I am constantly from stage all the time. I'm like, slow it down.
Yeah.
It's boring to me, but
no, because what'll happen is when you're actually So here's a weird thing. And Joe Wilson, the girl that works from Ashley Music, taught me this. Like if you start whispering, people actually start paying attention more because they have to use their brain to actually focus in on you.
Wow.
And so when you're loud, the brain is like, yeah, whatever, okay. But when you're whispering, people are like, what is she saying? And they actually tune in.
I'm excited about knowing this.
Yeah, dude. I mean, Ashley Music was brilliant when she said that. So I was like, anyway, let's get back to the psychology of the next gen consumer.
Okay, let me brain dump everything.
About all the shit that I know. I don't care.
Everything as fast as possible.
I know. This is exactly.
Stressful.
This is what goes on in Kristen's brain when she's up on stage.
And this is me simplifying to the max. Like you would not believe the amount of research that I'm trying to.
Like we get to pick on you like this. She's like, who the hell did I just sign up to hang out with?
No, I love it.
Anyway, let's get into this. So, number one reality: skepticism. People are unsure who to trust.
Yeah, and I feel like I am sick of hearing myself talk about this topic, but it is a real challenge. I mean, even we were talking about the LO comp. Like, I think people are really skeptical of anyone who is paid to give them something. So any salesperson, any business, it just is how it is. And so you're already overcoming something around that. But yeah, of course, the mortgage industry has the financial crisis to overcome and some different things that give people this like, oh, I'm not sure if I should reach out to someone, which is why. And also, by the way, I just went to this philosophy festival because I'm such a nerd that it was a philosophy festival.
Oh, those are my favorite festivals. Kristen, I love those. Darn it. Was that one in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Kristen, what is that?
It was funny.
Not like a Renaissance fair.
It did kind of look like one, I will say. I went to Wales in the UK. I traveled all the way. I was like taking fully time off.
Oh, that's
funny.
Cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
I was talking to Dave, our chairman, and I was like, I learned this and this that I'm applying to work. And he was like, did you take time off or were you working? But I went to 33 lectures over the span of 3 or 4 days. And so anyway, a lot of them were talking about distrust and but mostly related to AI and healthcare are the ones that I was going to. And it is interesting to see like how people relate to doctors and, thinking about how they're relating to AI versus doctors, for instance. But there's a ton of research from even back in the 50s or 60s where people were more likely to be truthful to a computer or even writing things down than they were to a healthcare professional. And so, part of that is that the time that's being spent, like, yourself really well, but also part of it is this like confessional bias where you feel like there's like privacy or something. So that's part of why I think it's important too, to have some kind of component where you're working on this on your own with AI or a tool or whatever to then bridge the gap to the expert.
Yeah, I remember we've talked about that before. So, all right, let's go to what is this? 1 in 5 next to trust honesty professional. We know that.
Yeah, blah, blah.
No, we've been through this before. Believe LO's gonna. That's pretty interesting. Only 26%, Justin, believe loan officers will act in their best interest. Justin. Sir, how do you respond to this accusation against you?
I told a client last night, true story on the phone. I said, I'm not incented to push you any direction. I'm incented to give you a good experience and show you what options you have.
How's that even truthful?
Yeah, that's no way.
No, me and Kristen both. Two to 1. You're lying.
No, it's not true. I'm in the percentile. I'm on the right side of this thing.
No, because you get paid if you close a loan.
Yeah.
That's true.
So that means you're incentivized to close a loan.
You're not wrong.
You see, this is why this 26% really believe us.
I built a ton of rapport first, so there's that.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you have to bridge that gap.
Yeah, I think you just proved Kristen's point, man. Like within 18 seconds.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Justin. Way to stand up for us loan officers.
You're welcome.
You're not invited to the next event in DC. Institutional distrust. The U.S. distrust index stands at 40%. What does this mean?
So
Like,
it's just
is this against institutions?
So this is just saying like healthcare, media, technology across the board, people are losing trust year over year. And we are at an all-time low in terms of consumers trusting institutions or industries or even sales professionals.
Wow. So let me get this straight though, Kristin, because you do all this work, right? Does this affect the way you see institutions then?
So at the beginning of this presentation, I shared a few quotes of me going through the home buying process. I am constantly in that boat of feeling like I'm distrusting of not just, this was in this industry specifically, like you're paid to
this is the one that this is Kristin talking to you. You're paid to tell me I should buy. See?
Yeah. And the research is right there. I mean, this was interesting because I was starting this whole publishing these reports when I was going through this process, and I was laughing at myself as I realized I was looking at the data, being like, "Oh wow, that is me. I just said that," And
wow.
But yeah, I feel the same way when it comes to doctors and healthcare and across the board. But that one's a very vivid experience for me, having gone through some healthcare stuff and being like, I'm constantly just like I don't know. I feel like there's this tension of like, I need to, fight against the provider. And when a provider crosses that boundary in a good way of like building trust, then I'm devoted to them. Then I'm like, like I feel very strongly and that's where I think the opportunity is in this industry is if you can build trust, then I'm going to make sure everyone I know goes to you,
Yeah, that makes so much sense. I mean, obviously, look, I mean, it's easy to say it makes sense and it's easy to do, but when you're on the front line and I mean, I always tell this to like, when you're a loan officer and you're trying to just get a loan closed or get a deal in, you know what I mean? Because you're trying to make your mortgage payment. You're trying to send your kid to college. You're trying to get paid for braces, whatever you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At a certain point, you're like pulling out everything you possibly can just to get the deal to work. So unfortunately, I think, unless, I don't know, I mean, loan officers get paid a salary. But then I don't know how that all works. I mean, that's a bigger thing than.
I mean, the reality is I do think that would help to some degree, but the reality is that even doctors are paid a salary and people still don't trust them, so I think this distrust goes deeper than that. And I think that it can be resolved without changing that exactly.
Well, let's talk about this one here. This is interesting. Overload creates avoidance. I love this because this is me.
Me too.
This is like boom. Like this is like if you ever want to freak me out and never ever have me call you again, give me so much information that I don't want anything to do. I'll be watching Sanford and Son.
Yeah. And like we said, I'm on both sides of it. I cannot help myself when I try so hard not to provide too much information, and I do it. And but I'm always, especially around finances, you give me a ton of information, and my brain freezes up, and I am like, I know that I need to do something, and I can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
but
is this a normal human behavior then? I guess because you're studying a lot of people, right?
Yeah. So this comes from 2,000, I guess, people that were surveyed over the past 2 years, millennials and Gen Z, and we did a validated kind of battery of questions this last report to really drill into what does this overwhelm look like, and it is interesting because part of it's self-reported. So I mean, I think there's also probably a lot of people that don't even have the self-awareness to say, this overwhelm is making me not call a financial professional, and I wanted to. So I think it's probably even more than what's reported.
So it's like my daughter, she's moving to Richmond from DC, right? And I was like, hey, you should just buy a house. And she's like, Dad, I just want to move. I just got to get out of here, and then we'll talk about it next year.
Yep.
So that's that overwhelm, right? That's where she like she knows this is the right thing to do, but she doesn't want to deal with it right now.
One thing at a time.
Yeah. I would be curious how she would feel going through the tool that we created, because there's no pressure. I think there's a lot of pressure if you start thinking about buying a home that you need to do that right away. And instead, we need to start shifting that conversation to earlier, to just say, hey, you might want to buy a home in 5 years, 10 years, but go ahead and go through this process so that you can see what we have, a big picture calculator to look at what it means to be a homeowner over over a longer period of time. We do have a rent versus own, but that's not built into the tool, so that you are just seeing big picture. Here's what this looks like. And then let me make sure my credit is in the right space. Let me make sure I have a budget that works for me. And it's all built around housing, but it also applies directly to today. That's like, now I would be ready to have the conversation when I want to.
Yeah. I think with her, like, she had me talk to her insurance agent for her rental policy down there in Richmond and that kind of stuff. And she's like, and at first I was like, why? Like, you should, like, when I was 31, I was talking to, I was like living it, and she can't, but whatever's going on in this generational thing, there's this overload of information or whatever it is. And just like, she's not able to make those decisions. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, I think part of it is, it depends on the market, but like here, it is cheaper to rent. If you look at the rent versus own comparison, it is not a good comparison for argument for home ownership. But if you, we created this, big picture that looks at wealth over the span of 10 years or whatever, because most people are not maybe staying in their home for 10 years, the first one they buy, but they're staying as a homeowner. And so if you look at that bigger picture, that allows you to see, oh, this is really what that means over this period of time. And over 20 years, wow, that really changes things,
Okay. I'm going to ask you a question. So give us the domain one more time, but before you do, would this be a great place for me to send my first-time home buyers to gain their trust by saying, go to a third party, visit, enjoy, answer questions, come back to me more educated?
Yes, exactly. It's being a nonprofit, it gives credibility too. This is a third party, so that builds trust. And we are adding this to our ambassador landing pages. So soon, whenever we add this in, it will be you could do firsthomeiq.com/Justin if you're an ambassador, and then have this whole tool in there, and it will automatically email you her plan when she completes it. So that will also be an option.
I want to be an ambassador. How do I sign up for that?
Okay, great. firsthomeiq.com/ambassador. You can sign up. But yeah, the Learn portal is learn.firsthomeiq.com, free to anyone right now. And again, and you can explore other resources. You don't have to just go through that tool. That you can scroll down and see a big thank you to our ambassadors, and then scroll and see all of that, the stuff too.
So cool. Cool.
I was trying to put it up on the screen here for you, but see, this is why we need John Perry back, Justin.
I know.
You scared him away.
I love that.
You know that, right? You scared him. Like, because of you, he won't come back.
That's not fair. We are best friends. We both love Public Enemy, so I'm pretty sure we're best friends.
I can't do any of this. Okay, I want to get into the solution here, Kristin, because I love this screen right here. I love this slide. Okay, let's talk about this real quick. Hang on, let me see if I can get this thing to work now. The empathy advantage, right? So you got all these people who are freaking out. You got this information fatigue. You got this distrust. They're just like in a fetal position in your office, right?
That's me, yeah.
I offered them a warm, cozy blanket with some milk, right?
I actually don't think that's a bad idea. Yeah.
And I tell them, don't worry, Oklahoma will come back next year.
Yeah.
The thunder will rise.
Here's the next for you.
So using empathy is the advantage in that situation. This is what you're basically saying, right?
Yeah, I think feeling seen and heard as a buyer who's overwhelmed is the most important thing. You're feeling overwhelmed, and when someone says, okay, what I'm hearing you say is this, and I hear that this is what's important to you, let's do this one small thing. And you get some momentum, like that's where you start to see real progress. And I saw this as a social worker. People's outcomes went through the roof when I started following this kind of framework. And I did give people a cup of tea and, put the clipboard aside, and it just, the empathy piece, even if I've talked to people who are low on that empathy scale, and you can still follow this, like use it like a language, I mean, you say, what keeps you up at night, and you repeat back, okay, I hear you say this, and that's that makes a real difference, and makes you ultimately go through those appointments even faster and get more truthful answers.
I was just
so instead of lying like Justin did.
No, not lying. I was just going to say that, but you stole it from me because it's your own thing that you stole back. But that's amazing.
Wait, what were you going to say?
Well, because I ask borrowers, I'm like, what questions do you have? And they have none. I'm like, well, at least I asked, but it didn't work out that way. But what keeps you up at night is a great question. Then the answer with truth, and then I can say empathy. I can say, boy, that really, I understand why you're up at night about that. But and then get down to the nitty gritty about that. So I love that answer.
Do they want a solution, or they just want the silence after I understand what you may be feeling? Do they want a solution, or they just want to be understood?
I heard you were both married for a long time, so I know you've got some kind of answer to that.
Like me, so hold on. When it comes to my wife, I just nod. I just like that's all. 33 years.
Fobby, you got to get there. You got to solve those answers.
Oh
no, not at all. Thank God. Men are from Mars and women are from Venus. Save my ass.
So the formula I always say is to repeat back, like say it's reflective listening. So it's like, what I heard you say is this. And then allow them to expand on that, or whatever. But then you can go into solutions, because you are the solution provider here. You're not the husband, but yeah, then it feels collaborative. And I think ultimately that's what consumers want and need, is a collaborative partner. And this is the big shift that's happening, where we are moving from a Blockbuster moment to a streaming service, and we're kind of in the middle in that moment where Netflix is shipping out DVDs. We haven't fully shifted over. And what is that moment is moving from the expert and the consumer that's fully reliant on that expert holding all the power up here, to a collaborative partner.
So Justin, here's a trust framework, the TRUST. I want you to memorize this, because I'm going to quiz you on this next week. Okay. Kristin is laughing, but I'm telling the truth.
I won't be here. I'm not here next week. I'm out next week.
Oh, it's already got the excuses, this kid. So look,
PTO.
It's kind of like RESPECT, but TRUST. All right. Is that
we need a song.
Right? See, we can make a song out of this. So tune in, Justin, relate, unfreeze, simplify, and then track. What does track mean, by the way? What does that mean, track? Walk me through that.
Tracking your progress. So, I mean, when I'm talking about a loan officer relationship with a consumer, it's setting a time and saying, okay, next Tuesday, we're going to check in. And it might be a 5-minute call. It might be a text, but having that deadline of like, hey, we're going to do this one thing by this time, it allows it resolves this anxiety of this big project we're doing. And it just says, okay, we're just focused on this one little thing. And it kind of forces the consumer to get whatever needs to be done by that deadline.
Got it. Now, if the first-time home buyer goes to your website, learn.firsthomeIQ.com, they're going to do this little course. What are they going to get at the end? What happens at they get a little printout saying you're not qualified to go buy a house?
No.
He's going to call you and lie to you.
Am I allowed to share my screen? Can I do that?
Sure. I don't know. I mean, I can put it up on the screen here. Here you go. I got it ready.
Are you seeing my screen? Okay.
How's that?
Yeah. So if you, well, I was going to show you under my plan, but you have to go through this little thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
No, it's fine. So under my plan, it will fill in the blanks of like, you said your budget is this, blah, blah, blah. You can make edits, go back to my steps, and then you would be able to email that to your loan officer. And again, if you're an ambassador, you will get that already. But yeah, it's easy to then share that and say, okay, I've gone through these steps. I'm ready to now have a conversation.
Now, is it okay if Justin donates his bottle of honey that he gets? Because that's all he gets.
Yeah, we're open to in-kind donations. I eat honey and appreciate.
Because that's his currency.
Okay, totally fair. And also, that oxygenated water was pretty
Yeah, I think it's a ripoff.
What does that do? It gives you energy?
Chris, I don't know. I swear to God.
He's like QVC.
I've been drinking it for a week. I can't figure out what difference it makes. I mean, I'm not sleeping any better. I'm not sleeping any worse. You know what I mean?
I love a placebo, so I don't know.
I think it's just it's a gimmick. You know what I mean? And we bought 2 of them. My wife bought one. I bought one. I like the little blue light. It's got to look like a little lava lamp effect happening. You know what I mean?
It looks cool.
Yeah. I guess I got to charge it. I haven't charged it, so it's run out of charge.
Yeah, I have a water bottle that's supposed to clean the water, but you got to charge it, and I'm out of.
What is that?
It's from like Home Depot. It's some little squid popping around. This is I don't drink it. Watch it. Yeah, isn't that cool?
Is that real squids?
No, they're fake.
Okay. I was like, that's the meanest thing you could do to a squid is like lock them in this little 3-inch vase, man. That's all.
24/7, 365.
They're kind of frantic. I like it's lava lamp kind of vibe, but
it's got some chaos going. It makes me feel.
I don't know, man.
They're not speaking slowly.
No.
Yeah, Justin, you're not speaking slowly at all. So here, Kristin, this is your exit music, okay? So this is the theme from Sanford and Son.
Oh, okay.
So next time you're on the show, I need you to watch the show, okay?
Yes, I've got my homework.
Right? That's the only thing you have to do, because if you watch Sanford and Son, I guarantee you within 3 episodes, you will have forgotten the world.
Okay, great. That's basketball's almost over, so I need a new outlet.
Yeah, what are you gonna do once basketball ends?
I don't know. I was thinking about trying baseball.
Oh, that's so boring.
So boring.
So it's like, we're in the 4th inning.
I know.
I think the guy is gonna pitch soon, but he keeps stopping because someone's on first and they're threatening to steal a base. Like,
another timeout with the coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if I know the backstories about all the players, that's what I'm wondering.
You're not a football person. I'm a huge football. That's me. I'm just counting down the days. Football, American football, NFL, AFC, NFC, football, linebackers, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Not soccer. Sorry. Anyway.
Well, got some exploring to do. We'll see.
You're always welcome back on the show whenever you want to come back and talk more. We'll love those little slideshows that you do. You know that.
Thank you so much for sharing everything and for being supporters of First Home IQ. Everybody check out learn.firsthomeIQ.com and go Knicks.
Go Knicks. Oh, by the way, let's see your nail polish. It was blue, right?
Blue for the Knicks.
Is it really blue for the Knicks though, Kristin?
Well, to be honest, it was an easy transition. I have so many Thunder shirts that are blue, and we've got the same colors. I have this nail polish from the Thunder. So.
Isn't the Knicks kind of an orange somewhere?
This is kind of orange.
Kind of. All right. Well, guys, thank you for the show, Kristin. If someone wants to get hold of you, LinkedIn or no messaging on LinkedIn. That's not good.
Oh. I'm going to work on being on LinkedIn.
I cut myself off on that.
DMs on LinkedIn.
Yeah, not good at the DMs, but I am going to work on that. But you can't go to
use Facebook Messenger. Kristin will call you back in 6 years.
Yeah. I definitely don't do Facebook Messenger.
Or Marketplace, find her stuff for sale, message her there.
Reddit has always been with Kristin. If you respond to Reddit, she'll respond to Reddit.
Yeah, no, email Kristin at firsthomeIQ.com. But I am LinkedIn or Instagram too.
So are you ever on LinkedIn?
I'm not really right now, but I am about to be.
Oh, you're about to be, okay.
Yeah, it's like
awesome.
We shall prepare. We shall prepare accordingly, madam, for your arrival on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Big launch.
Big launch.
Thanks all for being here. Hang out, okay? Hang tight.
Talking leadership, making the big plays in the mortgage game through the sun and the haze. Close more deals, build your success. Time to level up and beat the stress. Get ready to laugh, land and eat.